Well, folks, I think we are live. Today I'm just going to be working on the layout. So, yeah, I'm going to set the camera down here for a sec and probably do some ballasting and whatnot. Yeah, should be a fun stream. Hello, Joshua's Union Pacific and BNSF Productions. How are you? The chat is a little bit delayed because I'm using StreamYard, but yeah, I'm gonna be working on the layout here. As you can see, since I've shown stuff on my YouTube channel, I've gotten some grass in, some more ballast. So the switch is all working nicely. I can probably demonstrate that a little bit later, but you can see it flips just fine. How are you doing? I am good. How are you? We got 4 people in here so far. Welcome everyone. But yeah, we're gonna be working on the layout. So I'm going to go and set you guys up on the little tripod that we've got here. Whoops, I accidentally made that show up on the screen. There we go. Alright. Well, I will boot up the DCC system, and I will show you guys that the switch and everything here is all working. We will run a quick 5-car hopper train over. So yeah, just give me 1 sec and I will turn it on. Alright. It should be all turned on now. Ink Drills, hello. How are you? Nice to see that we've got 5 people in here. So let's get this on. Oh, something is on the track. Yep, this here. Forgot to take that off. You love trains. Yep, me too. So I've got the Erie started up here. We're going to go in reverse here. And we're going to just do a quick pass through the newly ballasted switch and other track. If you guys are wondering, I'm using the NCE DCC system. Alright, we are backing this train up over the switch. Alright, now that it is all through the switch, we're gonna I haven't used the straightaway yet because it's really dirty. I've been working on something else on the other side of the layout, which I haven't showed yet or shown. So the track is super dirty, so I've only cleaned this line. So we're just gonna make sure the switch is still turning, and we're just gonna pull back through there. And there we go. Hello, DCC train. And yeah, now I'm going to shut off the layout and we're going to get to work. Probably do a little bit of ballasting, and then I have another surprise to show you guys on the other side of the layout. Alright, back on this side of the layout. So I think what we're going to start out by doing is I'm going to be showing you guys these. These are some trees I've been making. Let me know what you guys think. The lighting over here is not great, but yeah, nice little trees that I'll probably be using on the layout. We've also, what else have I been working on beside the ballast? I know there's one more thing. Yes, the control panel, which is over there. I've got the stream pulled up on the other computer. And then I've also been doing lots of wiring, and I've now got feeder wires that run over there to each loop. So extra power in there. And then what I've really been working on is the road. So that's all I'm going to show right now. But the road has it's been going pretty good so far. So hopefully I can finish that up soon and have a separate video of that. But as for now, we are good. I just use hairspray to hold down the ballast sometimes, because I've found out that's a pretty good way to do it. So I think now I'm going to get the camera set up here at a certain angle and maybe start doing a little bit of ballasting. I'm going to have to take this train off the track here because we're going to be doing some ballasting. Move these trees out of the way. And move the Pennsylvania steam engine out of the way also. Probably should have done a little bit of preparing before all this. Ink drills, you're wondering what scale does everyone model? Well, my layout here is HO scale, and then I also have an N scale layout. So that's that. Also, one thing I got, guys, which is nice, on all my previous layouts, my wiring has been literal like disaster, and yeah, I wanted this layout to have some nice wiring without the layout shorting out every once in a while. So I purchased a kit with 560 different pieces of shrink wrap of different sizes and whatnot and different colors. So I have shrink wrap for life, so all my joints and whatnot will be shrink wrapped. So we will have nice and neat wiring under the layout. So today I'm going to be using Woodland Scenics medium gray blend ballast. Move our spray paint out of the way also. Yeah, that's really what we're going to be using. I'll be using isopropyl alcohol and a glue water mix to hold it down. Inked Rose, you have a dog bone style, very nice. Yeah, I think the first step we're going to have to do is grab some extra ties and put in some filler ties right here and probably over here behind the ballast jug. So I'm also going to take off another one of these cars. These are actually my brother's. He recently got them at the local hobby shop. They are Walther's Trainline just covered hoppers. They're pretty detailed. They're pretty nice. I'm going to take this one off and set it aside. Alright, now I'm going to actually move the chair over and look for the filler ties. So I've got just a whole bag of extra ties here that we'll be cutting off the spikes and then sliding them under the rails. Also, I am using Code 100 track. Some of it's sectional, some of it's flex track. The main lines are all flex track, but then the whole layout is flex track. There's just one siding here on the far end that is sectional track because I just had a lot of it and I wanted to use it up. Third Emperor, how many BNSF locos do you have? I have one, It is a GP9M. It is at the far end of the lat right now, so I cannot reach it. Yeah, thanks for asking. Looks like some of the ballast here got messed up on the other section of the lap. All right, well, we're gonna start off by taking just a plastic spoon, I think. That is, if I can find one. I had one laying around. Oh, it's in here. Funny. Hello, High Green Productions. How are you? We're just here working on the lamp. We're going to start by doing some ballasting. So I start by just spreading on my ballast with a spoon. I'm going to start by going in between the tracks. Actually, I forgot a step. First, I'm going to be taking a hobby knife and I'm going to be chopping off the little spikes on top of the ties so we can throw them in here. So I'm doing that real quick. I have one BNSF locomotive as well, inked rails. Nice. Quick recommendation, everybody, if you really want to go hardcore, use a 2-to-1 ratio of water to glue. That's exactly what I do. Exactly what I do, but before that, you got to put down isopropyl alcohol to loosen up your surface tension. Which, in case anybody's wondering, I have a 32-ounce bottle of 91% isopropyl alcohol, which I will be using in today's ballasting. Just trying to find my hobby knife. I just had it. I'm not quite sure what happened to it. It was right here. Going to go over here and grab it. Alright, I found it. How many NS engines I got? Yeah, I got no NS stuff yet. Next to the RS3. There's nothing next to the RS3. There's a Norfolk and Western hopper down there. You can't really see that on stream. There's a little RSO trolley. Number 50. Alright, let's cut these spikes off the ties. See, the problem that I've always had, which really is unfortunate, is that whenever you put the filler ties in, if you put it under a rail joiner, it raises up your rail a little bit higher, which is really, it's really annoying because you don't want your rails raised up. Just trying to think here if there's any way to really fix it. I might be able to kind of push down the foam here so that they don't get raised up. It kind of worked. It just looks silly. If you take my hand away, I'll get a little closer. It's hard to tell on camera, but the rails actually raise up quite a bit, which is not good. cut a little bit out, like cut a slice of like 45. Yeah, I was thinking maybe cut out a little bit of the foam and throw the tie in. I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to cut a ton out. I just want to cut a little bit. If I just like remove the paper on the top of the foam, that might do the trick. And this is why ballasting takes so long. Like, I just want to put down the ballast already, but it's a lot of prep work that has to go into it too. Like just a ballast over the switch and the part of the siding that I had shown you guys right when the stream started, that took 2 hours just to do all that. I think a half an hour of that was probably just prep work, and then I'm kind of picky about my ballast, so I try and get like all the ballast off the top of the ties just because I'm picky about it. So it takes me a lot longer to ballast than anybody else. Aha, that definitely worked. That worked really nicely. Alright. Thank you for the suggestion, High Green Productions. I'm going to now take one more tie, because that's all we need, and we're going to throw that in. Sorry if you hear a little noise, it's my chair, it's kind of loud. Alright. Let's put that in. There we go. That's actually pretty good. That'll do. That'll do us well. Now we're going to just start putting down ballast. I don't think I'll go up to here today. I'll probably just stop right before that. Because to do all 4 tracks, it's going to take a lot of ballast and a lot of time. So I'm just going to go in with my spoon and just start sprinkling it down. So then I have an assortment of paintbrushes here. David from High Green Productions, you were saying that you have cork and you never have issues. Yeah, well, I don't have the kind of money to spend on cork, so yeah, that's the kind of problem that I have. But still, it seems like even if you have cork, if you're trying to slide a filler tie under the joint, what kind of gadget is that, lol? What gadget? Yeah, even if you have the pink thing, this is just a plastic spoon. Even if you have cork, it seems like that you'd still have issues with a filler tie raising up the rail if you've got a rail joiner there. One sec, guys. The camera might go out here. I'm not quite sure. Just give me one sec. Sorry about the brief pause in the stream there. I am back. That's a bit of an issue. I don't know if you guys can tell here, but it looks like this part of the foam was not glued down, and it's like spongy now. Or it could be from it getting wet, but it obviously is not glued down properly, so I will heat up my glue gun and glue it down properly so we do not have that issue. And it looks like this here is a little bit loose also. So it looks like I've got a little bit of gluing to do before we really continue with the ballasting. That is one thing that you've got to make sure you do right. Properly glue your road bed. Sorry about that. Looks like the stream went out for a sec. Guess we'll just keep sprinkling our ballast, and we're kind of just normally ballasting while we wait for the glue gun to heat up. I definitely do wish I could have used cork, though, going back to what High Green Productions was saying, but it seems to, the foam has so far seemed to be working pretty good. If only I would have glued it down properly, and it would have worked better. So the one thing that I've always found so helpful while ballasting is that little tip where, like, after you've brushed a lot of it off the the ties or the rails, you just tap the rails and it all vibrates off. I found that so helpful. One sec, guys. All right. We're back. Sorry about that. I don't know why the stream keeps going out. I'm wondering if it's just like bad connection or what's up with that. A little strange. Let's see, is this heated up yet? It's getting there. May have to run over and grab another glue stick for it. Meantime, we'll take our pink spoon and work on pressing this ballast. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. So, of course, ballasting is probably one of the most boring things that I could probably do on stream, but whatever. I'm going to press it here in between the ties. There we go. Now we're going to push it down. Push a little more away. And we will take the spoon and push more out. Just kind of flattening this down. My tracks are a little bit farther apart, I feel like, than other railroads. other model railroads, but it's okay with me because I did it on purpose because I have some huge train cars, like huge passenger cars and a crane car and everything that I want to be able to run. And in order to run those, I have to have the spacing that I have. Maybe could be like maybe another quarter of an inch closer, but it's all fine. Push a little more of this down. Look at that! It's starting to look half decent. Gonna grab another glue stick for the glue gun real quick. There we go. So I'll start by putting just a little bit of glue. It looks like this here is not glued down, so I'll put a little bit of glue right down there. Hold that down for a minute for it to dry. The stream has gone out again. Not sure why that went out again. Maybe I will have to look into that a little bit further once we end the stream, because that is a bit of an issue. Yeah, again, if you guys have any questions, drop them down in the chat. We can make this into a little Q&A also. There we go. Got this first track here looking pretty good. Also now going to go ahead. I'll have to redo a little bit of the ballast where the camera can't really see because I've got to take some out to glue down the track bed that has lifted up. There we go. Got some of that removed. And I'll put a heavy, very generous amount of glue under it. At the Red Empire, how many locomotives? Oh, at the Red Empire, how many locomotives do you have? What's your favorite era of locomotives? Says Reading Railroad fan. How many locomotives do I have? I haven't done a count in a while. Not a ton. I have like 20, maybe 25. Um, yeah. And then my favorite era of locomotives, probably the era, kind of the transition era where they were going from like steam to diesel, probably around there. My favorite locomotive that I have, I don't know, that's a hard one. I've got a lot of cool locomotives. It'd be hard to choose a favorite out of all of them. Well, some of my favorites though are like my GG1. I have some AHM GP18s that I recently remotored, which I made a video of them just kind of running. Put some fun music behind it. So I made a video of them running and whatnot. So I remotored them with a nice Micromark motor, and that thing is silent. They run really nicely with that, so I could not be happier with how those turned out. So they're back to back, one powered, one dummy. So those two are nice. I've got a nice Pennsylvania 462. That's a nice one. Oh, can't forget the Wabash. That's a nice one too. That one's DCC, and so is the GG1. And then also there's my RS3 down there, Erie RS3, which is DCC sound, my only sound locomotive, which I'm hoping to get more sound locomotives sometime in the somewhat near future. Still holding this roadbed down to dry, but I'll keep working on the ballast with my other hand. There we go. 6 people in here. Welcome to everybody that is now joining. We are ballasting the track, and at the moment I'm holding down some roadbed to dry that came unglued, which was not good. I think it's just about dry now. So for anybody that's just joined, I will show you here. That's the ballast that I got done last night. Got a little bit of grass in there to take some cool photos. But yeah, now we're just extending what we already have done. Now I gotta go ahead and patch this little bit that I just ripped up to glue down the track bed or road bed. I don't know, what do you guys call it? Track bed or road bed? Say in the chat. I'm not sure if there's a difference or if they're the same thing, or I know Woodland Scenics, don't they call their foam stuff track bed? I'm pretty sure that's their foam stuff is track bed. But yeah. I have a little bit of experience with the foam stuff. Not a whole ton, but with the track bed, I used it for a previous end skillet that I no longer have. And I wasn't a huge fan of it. When you try and glue it down, like hot glue it down or something, it wouldn't melt through the foam, but like I don't know, it just wouldn't lay flat, I guess you could kind of say. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of it. And I know a lot of people aren't. And when the train goes over, it kind of smushes it down. So if you're going around a curve and your train is like smushing it down around a curve, it's not great stuff. But if you need something cheap, go for it. I mean, for a normal straightaway, if like you want to use like maybe cork on your curves, and then use track bed for your straightaways, I bet that would work pretty good. I think that would do pretty good for your layout. But again, I've never tried it, so don't take my word on that. Any more questions? Guys have any more questions? Again, feel free to drop them down in the chat. I'll show you guys what I'm actually working on here. Back it up a little bit. Just working on patching this little area. I definitely put too much there. Put a little bit of this back in the jug. Yeah, that's where I ripped it up, some of the ballast up, and I re-glued the track bed there. So now I am just replacing the ballast. Hopefully, sometime soon in the next week, once I get the road finished, we can start doing more running session videos. The layout hasn't run in over a week now. I've posted a video of a running session, I think of the GP18s, but I had filmed that like a week or so before I started the whole road. So yeah, just kind of filmed that in preparation because I knew I was going to do the road, so I would film that. I should have filmed a few more running sessions to make up for the time that the layout's going to be under construction. And there we go. Well, that looks pretty well patched, if you ask me. We'll kind of brush some of this excess ballast towards what we have here. And when we get our isopropyl alcohol, we will do the whole thing. Seven likes for this stream, not bad. It's like we had another cutout. That is, I'm really unsure why that's happening. I'm not sure if the Wi-Fi is having a little bit of trouble right now or what. It's never happened in the past. Spreading out some of this. Look at that. That's looking pretty good there. Also, another thing that I need suggestions of, there's 3 people in here. So, if you guys have any suggestions for what I'm about to ask, it'd be sweet. I have been working on making trees for my layout, as you guys saw at the beginning of the stream. So, I am wondering if you guys have any suggestions of like how to make trees. Because I've tried a few different ways and I'm pretty happy with them, but I'm wondering if there's any more ways to do it that might look even a step better, or maybe a different type of tree that I haven't done. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions of maybe how to make trees, that'd be great. Brush a little bit of this off the ties. I think soon here we'll be going on with the isopropyl alcohol. We're definitely getting close to that step. Ballasting is one of the things that I know a lot of model railroaders don't like. It's very tedious and it takes a long time to do. And I don't blame anybody that's not a huge ballasting fan. I'm really not either. 5 people back here watching. Welcome to anybody new that might be joining. Again, make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. Maybe subscribe if you aren't already. That'd be awesome. Also, one thing that I've been wondering about is what do you guys use for cleaning your track? I use, at the moment, 91% isopropyl alcohol, but I've heard there's a few different ways you can do it. I know some people use fine grits of sandpaper. I don't want to ruin or scratch up my track with sandpaper, so I feel like I don't really want to do that. But I have 91% isopropyl alcohol, which I use to clean my track. And then also from Walthers, I have a Burlington Northern refrigerator track cleaning car. So that's a neat little thing to have that I run periodically. I actually haven't used it in quite a while, but that does get used sometimes to clean the track. Looks like my sleeve or something got caught up in this that we just laid. So now I have to go back and fix it, unfortunately. Six people in here now. Welcome. I'll probably just glue on this as it is, not looking too great. And then later just go and fix it after the glue is fully dry. But for now, I'm going to keep going on the rest of this. Grab some more ballast out of the jug. There we go. Look at that. We've got the inside of that track finished up there. Now we're just going to go ahead and do this track in the side, in between those two. Then we'll be ready to isopropyl alcohol, but even before that, we've got to get the ballast off the ties. Oh, the Cityscape Central Model Railway. What's your favorite manufacturer of HO scale locomotives? My favorite manufacturer? That's probably a tough one. There's a lot of manufacturers I know I don't have, like BLI, which is Broadway Limited. I don't think I have any of their stuff. What else don't I have? Kato. I think I might have like a few rolling stock from Kato, but no locomotives or anything. As for right now, my favorite is probably, of the stuff that I have to judge from, probably Walthers or IHC. Their stuff, both of the IHC's out of business, but I have some of their stuff and it's really nice actually. IHC or Walthers, probably out of all the stuff that I have. Lifelike is they're interesting. We should just say that for the least. I have quite a few of their stuff. Their engines are super strong. I've got a Burlington Northern F40PH by them, and I've gotten the thing to pull 45 cars no problem. But yeah, they're strong, but they're loud kind of, and yeah, they're loud and over switches and whatnot. They have issues sometimes because they're only four-wheel pickup. Looks like we need a little more in between the tracks there. Alrighty. Again, guys, 7 people in here now. Feel free to use the chat. Ask questions, give recommendations, anything really. I'm don't feel bad about using the chat. Please do. I'd like to chat with you guys. All right. Well, looks like we just need a little bit more, and it will be time to get all the rest of the ballast off the ties, and then start putting down isopropyl alcohol and glue. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the little tapping method. So it might get a little annoying here for a bit, but we gotta tap all the rails and make sure we get all that ballast off. So here we go. All right. There we go. That track is looking pretty good. Now that I've got all that done, I'm gonna go through every tie and just kind of pick the ballast off of them. It's prototypical if a few little bits are left on the tie, but for the most part, I like to have them all pretty much off. And look at that. Before we know it, it's looking this one track here is looking pretty good. We could call it mainline 1 or track 1. Now we're gonna move on to the second main line, track 2, I guess we could call it, and we're gonna start doing some tapping on that line. That one went a lot smoother than the other track. We've got barely any really to pick off. Compared to the other one, there was like one on quite a few of the ties. And look at that. That's all the ballast that was on the ties removed. Now moving on to track 3, which really, as we know, is really just a passing track that comes off of track 2, and then this one just heads to a siding, which I just showed. Yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and do a little more tapping on track 3. Well, look at that. It looks like all the ballast is off of track 3. Looks like first try we got pretty lucky, so now I'm just going to move straight to track 4. Alright. Didn't get so lucky on track 4. We've still got quite a bit on the ties. But that's okay. We'll just go ahead and brush that all off. Almost done here. Nothing new in the chat yet. But yeah, that's pretty good. I think it's just about time. Looks like we got a little more here. Looks like it's just about time to put isopropyl alcohol on. So what I do is I have a little bowl here. So I will take this bowl. I'll prop it up on like something else. For here, we're just going to be propping it on this other track. Of course, in doing that, I knocked a little more ballast onto the ties. And I'm just going to take my isopropyl alcohol and just kind of squirt it in there. There we go. Got a nice amount there in the bowl. And we're going to take our syringe, which is looking good. Just going to take a nice syringe here, and I'm going to start applying the isopropyl alcohol. So I've got it all sucked up in here. I'm going to start here and start doing where we had to patch. And we'll just run it along the ties on the outside of the rail. Yeah, this is just basically loosening the surface tension so when we put on the glue, our ballast does not start floating away. Which would definitely not be good if our ballast started floating away. There we go. There's the outside isopropyl alcohol. And now we're going to do the inside of the ties. This is the part where we have to be careful to make sure none of our ballast floats up onto our ties, because we just spent quite a while getting it off the ties. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to move on to in between these two tracks now. Luckily, I've got quite a large amount of isopropyl alcohol, so I shouldn't be running out anytime soon. Third umpire, are you going to be adding water scenes on your layout? So, I was thinking about it. I had a few, like, I think I actually had, there's like, I think it was 3 or 4 bridges that I had. And, whoops, I'll shut out there. I wanted to add some water scenes. I wanted to do like not necessarily a trestle or something, but I wanted to cut out pretty much a section of the layout like here. I don't know where, but like that's just an example. Like say I did it here. Um, I wanted to cut out a section of the layout and put in a bridge with like a waterfall or something that would go down. But first of all, for this size of a layout, I didn't really have the space because I wanted this huge yard and the coal/gravel plant in the front, and I wanted my city over there on the far end, and then I wanted more yard space in the back of the layout with a another factory back there, and then obviously I wanted the hill in the back corner. So I didn't really have space to do something like that. So I did improvise, and in the very back, you can see kind of going behind the end scale out over there, right over there. There's actually a whole nother yard that's over there, and it's got bridges that bridge the gap between the two layouts. So that's where I use the bridges at over there. But yeah, no water scene in this lap, but on the end scale lap there is one, and it looks pretty good. Alright, gotta suck up some more isopropyl alcohol here. There we go. There's that part done. Now we'll do inside the ties. And then we'll move on to the other two tracks. Get inside the ties of track 4. And we'll do the outside of it all. And that is pretty much all the isopropyl alcohol on. So now, before the stream, what did he say here? Inked rails, that sounds like a good idea. I can't wait to finish my 2 water scenes on my layout. Oh, you're gonna be adding water scenes. It's gonna be really cool, man. So before the stream, I mixed up some water and glue mix here, so I didn't have to take time on stream to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just simply grab a popsicle stick and stir that up. Alright, so now I'm just gonna get stirring on this. Inkterels, I do have a question for you since you're talking about doing water scenes. Are you planning on using, like, what are you planning on using an epoxy, or what are you planning on using for your water scene? Now time to put down glue. So what I do, guys, is I put down glue here, as you guys are seeing. And then when the glue's dry, I soak everything in hairspray. And that really holds it all down. So, yeah. Colorado and Northern Trail Land Productions. Hello, how are you? I am here just ballasting the HO scale layout. Also, guys, just want to say a huge thanks to everyone who's subscribed to the channel and hitting 300 subscribers before the new year. That was absolutely incredible. Hello, NEC Jersey Rail fan. I don't think I saw you pop up in the chat anywhere else. Hello, Wyatt. Hello, Other Railways with Ryan. Inked Rails, you're looking at the Woodland Scenics water. Yeah, I was originally going to go with the Woodland Scenics water for my N-scale at water effect, but I decided to go with the product Envirotex. I had seen pretty good reviews with people doing their product. So when I got it, I mixed it up. I dyed it blue, and I also painted the base blue first before I poured it. And my results, if you go out and check out the videos of the N-scale app, you'll be able to see how it turned out for me, and it turned out really, really nice. Because I've got a 2-track truss bridge that goes over the water. Putting down more glue here. How is everybody that just joined? Did you all have a good Christmas? Did you get anything maybe train related or anything? Anything for your layouts maybe if you have one? Or maybe if you're making a layout. Did you get supplies for it? Nice to see we have 8 likes and 7 people watching. Very, very nice. Well, guys, I think I've just about finished the ballast in this area. There's something I want to do, which is patch up a little bit of ballasting that I didn't mess up on, but just kind of make it look a little bit better, which I'll be doing kind of away from the camera. Here we go. That looks good. Should probably take my spoon just to fix it up a little bit better. Hello, James Light Railway. You had the coronavirus for Christmas. Oh, that's too bad, man. I hope you're feeling good. I'll be sure to check out that video as I am still in the midst of painting my your storm pond, then going to Edward. All right, that sounds good, Inkdrills. Sorry to hear that at James Ira. Yeah, you got a Canadian Pacific ES44AC. Oh, that's gotta be cool. Is it DC or DCC? And if it's DCC, is it sound or just plain old DCC? Which again, plain old DCC, it's still good even without sound. Being able to run multiple trains on one track is and control your headlight and everything. That's just it's pretty fun stuff. DCC sound. Oh, that's pretty good. What manufacturer, if you don't mind me asking? Walthers. Very nice, very nice. Alright, well, I think that just about concludes the ballasting. But for people that are just joining in now, like James Light Railway and any others, um, I showed this at the beginning of the stream, kind of, but I did a lot more ballasting over here on the Switch, and I just added a little bit of grass there just so I could take some cool pictures of some trains sitting here and whatnot. But yeah, everything seems to be working good. Switch still flips just fine. But yeah, now quite a bit of it is all ballasted up. All the way into the tunnel. But yeah, now I just gotta wait like 24 hours probably for it to all be dry and whatnot. I am going to go ahead, probably just with my finger here, and take off any glue or any excess anything that might be on top of the rails. What's my shout out policy? Probably if you're like 5 to 10 away from a big marker, you can have a shout out. At the Red Empire, sub to your channel. Thanks, Ink Drills. I really appreciate it. Every sub counts. On our way to 1,000, and then can you get a shout out? Well, how many subs do you have? Every sub counts. So probably a face reveal at 1,000. But yeah, just putting down a little extra glue and other little spots. Again, this area here, you have 31 subs. I guess you can have a shout out. I mean, usually I give them if people are like maybe 5 to 10 away from 50 or 100 or 200, 300. But since I don't think I've really ever given a shout out, I'll give you a shout out. So everyone go subscribe to Other Rails with Ryan. It sounds like he got something really cool for Christmas, so maybe that'll be on his channel if it's not already. But yeah, well, I'll show you guys the final product here. Obviously, it's still all wet and not quite dry, but nice little pan over it all. It's looking pretty good. Ah, you just put the vid up. Ah, sweet. Yeah, the track is probably still dirty and whatnot, so we probably shouldn't really run trains over it quite yet. But yeah, everything seems to be going good. If you guys want, I can show you the Erie for people that have just joined in that I've talked about. This is my switcher diesel that I use in the yard. It's hooked up to some Walthers train line hoppers at the moment, but there it is. It is a Bachmann RS3 DCC and sound. So that is my switcher diesel that I run on the layout. And I like it a lot. It's got a really nice low speed, and it's a pretty good engine. But yeah, any other questions or anything you guys have before I possibly end the stream? Screen might go black here for a sec. 1 sec. Alright, there we go. Everything's back. That's a nice switcher. Thanks. Thanks for the comment there. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It runs nice, and it's my only DCC sound engine, so of course I'm pretty happy with it. Alright guys, well, I think we're going to end the stream here. We've gotten a lot of progress done, ballasting and whatnot. Hopefully maybe soon I'll have a video coming out on the road, so you guys can see that. And once the road is done, we can start doing more running sessions and whatnot, because my new control panel allows me to run DC and DCC trains on both loops, so I can switch the power to either DC or DCC on either main line. So I can run whatever I have now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and hopefully you'll like and subscribe and come back if there's any other future streams. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time on the Red Empire.